Okay, so everything I've done up to this point has all been about how to charge the battery. Now that the battery is receiving power, the power is all being distributed to this breaker box, which can handle both AC and DC outputs. So with that, I spent some time laying out where I want to put all my various things. So I have my monitor and an outlet designated to be in this spot. My piano will go here along with another outlet. Toilet, which also needs a plug-in. I'll have another outlet right there. Light switch here, another outlet over there, and then pretty much my kitchen setup, which requires a lot of other power. Guys, I'm so proud of myself. I did my first little bit of wiring. Here's the little setup going through there, feeding back behind here into this first slot, and it's working. All right, so for the last hour or so, I've been learning how to take care of this. These two lights are chained together on the same circuit. I didn't bother recording or time-lapsing myself doing this one because it was a ton of stop and go and researching videos on how it needs to be done. And so it would have been made for a really boring time lapse. Okay, I have this light up and it's all working good. The wires are dangling in a non-ideal fashion. Got this one working too. So I'm gonna put some holes in here and run the wire through the center of the board on all 5 of these, or I guess 4. So these are the lights that I've selected that will be going into my van. They're puck lights. These are a little bit more than 1/2 inch thick. They're gonna go in 2 rows. Boop, 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 boop. I'm ordering a total of 10, but at this point in the game, I only have 2. 8 more are coming. There was an issue with shipping on these bad boys. I ordered them and it said that it had gotten delivered. And today I spent like 30 minutes confused as to where they could possibly be. But I'm pretty sure there was just a problem with the shipping. And so I'm gonna reach out to them and hopefully get those replaced here real soon. But that doesn't mean that I can't go ahead and cut all the wires and get them all to length. And then all I have to do is just plug in the last little 2 wires on all 8 of them. So if everything goes as planned, I'm gonna have some wires dangling all the way down the length of my van that will eventually house 8 separate puck lights. The first thing I need to do is mark where each one's gonna go and make sure that they're evenly spaced. Okay, so at this point, I've made an enormous amount of progress. Pretty much I have wires feeding through here. They're coming through the fuse box up here and they go like this. So this junction lines up with that light where it will go and that one with there. Likewise, we have this going on right here. So I just need to connect the lights at this wire intersection. So we have one set of wires that are branching off that way, and then another set that's branching off this way. So this part's pretty cool. I have it actually going all the way across because eventually I'm gonna put a light switch right here. So that's prepped for that. I also want a light, shut up. And then I'm also gonna have a light switch over here. I ran out of these 3-way connectors. I learned that when the wire doesn't continue on any further, you can terminate it with a 2-way, but when you want it to be an intersection and continue on further, you need a 3-way. So I used way more 3-way connectors than I thought that I would. So with that, one of the last things I'm gonna do for the day is head to the store and grab some more of those. Okay, so if I've wired it up correctly, when I put this fuse in to the second slot, then these 2 puck lights will turn on. So here is the moment of truth. come on, we can go in. Stupid. I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. Y'all, I cannot tell you how satisfying this feels. After nearly a month of working to get things wired up such that this thing gets power, I'm finally able to distribute it such that it's actually working. It's so satisfying. What I'm gonna work on next is installing my dimmer switch and a light switch. Those are right here. Here's my dimmer and 1 light switch. This is a special type of light switch. It allows there to be 2 light switches, and the idea is I don't want to have to get up and reach over to the light switch just to turn it off every single time. I want to have the option to be able to reach it while laying down in my bed. And I actually made a mistake yesterday as I was putting this together. I have some of the lights already up like this. What needs to happen is the electricity that will go from my power source needs to first pass through the switches. The switches are kind of like the gatekeeper, I guess, for the electricity to reach the lights. From here, I'm gonna have to route some wires to that light switch first, and then that light switch second, and then connect it to the array that I already have set up. So that's what I'm gonna work on now. I apparently got the wrong kind of spade connector. It's supposed to be able to provide some continuity between the prongs of the switch with that metal piece in the middle and a wire that I put through the opposite side. But the internal mechanism is not the one that I need. So I'm gonna go to the store later today and pick up the correct spade connector. But for now, I'm going to finish where I left off yesterday, which was connecting some of these guys. I just got back from the Home Depot and I got all my outlets and then boxes, as well as the wiring and the connectors and some zip ties. The plan right now is to have 2 breakers for all of my AC outlets. 1 breaker is going to be for the driver's side of the van, and the other breaker is going to be for the passenger side of the van. At this point, I've watched a variety of videos on how to install these, so I have a pretty good idea. So let's get going. Okay, I got this set up. It is not pretty. A rule that I learned from Jason is first make it work and then make it pretty. So I'm gonna check to see if this works. Gotta flip these breakers. I have this GoPro charger that lights up blue in the front if it works. And gonna plug this in here. And the conclusion is that it does not work right now. So I need to figure out why. I know that the issue has to lie in the way that that is set up. Okay, at this point, I've gone to the store several times to get the correct breakers that go on this side of the breaker panel. And I think I've finally gotten the correct kind based off of my research. Once I get this installed, then I should be able to check to see if my outlets are working properly. So I'm gonna install these bad boys right now. And just a moment ago when I was taking the old ones out, I accidentally got shocked with the 120 volts. That was pretty unpleasant, but I only cried for 20 minutes.
How top am I? I had a bowl of nails for breakfast this morning.
Yes, so?
Without any milk.
Right this way.
All right, here's the moment of truth with the outlet. In a very unaesthetically pleasing way, I've hooked it all up. But first make it work, then make it pretty. And let's see if this works. All right, let's see. No. Why aren't you working?
Why are you sleeping?
Let's try this again. I figured out the reason why that one wasn't working. Because it's not connected. However, this one is connected and it should work. Let's try that one. Here's the moment of truth. Oh, I forgot to turn on the battery. Gosh, Ryan. All right, so turn that on. I turned that off earlier because I got shocked and I didn't want that to happen again. All right, here again is the moment of truth. Boom! Awesome. Okay, I just finished wiring together all of the 120 volt outlets, and here is a grand tour. So basically the DC power comes over here to the inverter, flips it over to AC power, which is then distributed to this breaker panel. This breaker box is for the outlets on the left side of the van, and then this one is for the outlets on the right side of the van. The wire of interest is this white one. Wow, the lighting is really weird. I'm not gonna repark just to get better lighting though. Not worth it. They carry the AC loads to the outlets. I have this junction right here that feeds that way and that way. First, we'll go over here. It comes down this way to this outlet, and then up here to this outlet. And then it also breaks off to go down here to that outlet. It comes up here and then down through there to this outlet. So that's the left side, that's off of this breaker box. And then this one feeds around here, this white wire, all the way across the van, down to this first, oh, here's my GoPro. It just finished the time lapse for putting this together. So this is a special type of outlet that I can't even remember the acronym for it, but it basically protects against splashes. It protects this one from splashes and then all of the other ones downstream. So electricity comes down through here to this guy, and then here to this intersection. I have it splitting off. One goes up to here and then there as well. And then the other one splits down is that guy right there. Maybe I should have checked the outlets before I screwed them into their blue boxes, but now I'm gonna check to see that each one works. Turn power on. That works. That works. Eight for 8, baby. What up? All right, now that I have the outlets all working, I'm going to transition focuses and go on to finishing out the puck lights, because yesterday I went to the store and picked up the proper, what are these called? Spade connectors. That's what I'm gonna focus on now. So I just spent like the last 15 minutes or so studying this image, and then also trying to figure out how its logic plays into my situation. And I'm pretty sure I figured it out, and I'm just about to test whether I did it correctly. Let's grab a fuse. Oh. There we go. When I put this fuse in, then I can check to see if the light switches work properly. We have lights. That's satisfying. Okay, put that in, one-handed, good deal. All right, the moment of truth. Yes! It all works. Oh my gosh. Let's make sure the other one works. Yes! Holy crap. Good deal. All right, I've just finished installing the dimmer now. As best I could, I followed the instructions, and now I'm ready to check to see if I did it correctly. Okay, usually there's a red light that turns on, so I don't think that this actually worked. Oh, okay, sweet. Great. So that is working. Make sure that the other switch is working. Good deal. All right, now for the dimmer. Ooh, that is not working. Okay, let's give this another try. I don't know what I did wrong. You know what? I think to make my life a little bit easier, I'm gonna go ahead and move the dimmer from this intended location at the entrance, actually over to my bedside. That's gonna help, one, with this installation, because I don't really know what I did wrong, but also I think it makes more sense to have the dimmer by my bedside anyway. So 2 stones, 1 bird, am I right? And I'll just put that right there, as though it was the original intent all along. Alas, I have gotten the dimming effect to work. Maybe a little bit hard to see as it's like really bright out still, but it's working. Here's my little setup, the knob. There you can see a light over there. Huh, that looks funny. But yeah. Oh, this took me a while, not gonna lie. Something kind of funny and a little bit annoying that keeps happening is like, I'll set up the camera like right here to get a close-up shot of the work that I'm doing, like time-lapse style or whatever I'm going for. I get the frame all set up and everything, and I hit play, and then my first question is, okay, how do I do this? And then I end up sitting there for a while, pull out my phone, watch a YouTube video about it while the camera's rolling, and then I figure out that it has to do with something somewhere else in the van, and I don't end up getting the shot that I'm like looking for. It also adds a layer of complexity that's like annoying to have to deal with, like thinking about the shot and also trying to figure out how to fix the thing that I'm trying to do. So it ends up being that all I can really show is my reaction of when the task is finally accomplished. If I knew what I was doing better, then probably I'd be able to actually film the process and it would look fluid, I guess. But since I am spending most of my time watching tutorials, my reaction of the completed task is all I can really offer. All right, now that I know that this circuit works, clearly it needs to be made pretty, so that's what I'm gonna do next. It is with a bit of frustration that I announce I'm gonna have to do a little bit of rework. I'm gonna be lowering the height of my bed by about 5 inches And the reason is because when I sit on my bed like this, my head is way too close to the ceiling. I'm not even on my mattress right now, and I'm already having to hunch over quite a bit. So while I like the extra room that's beneath my bed for extra storage, it makes the sleeping space and my ability to sit up on my bed very inconvenient. So as a result, I'm gonna be lowering the height of my bed. And what this means is I'm gonna have to move some of my electrical components down more. I would totally just like take everything and shift it a little bit. However, it's not that easy with this guy because these are bolts. And so I have to get access to the opposite side. So my first task today is gonna be take off this. After that, I'm gonna take the opportunity to shorten up some of these wires and make everything look a little bit prettier and more presentable because there's a lot of excess dangling and everything, just because when I was initially wiring everything, I didn't want to make things too short, and so I erred on making them too long, which great, I didn't run out of room, but it looks kind of hideous. So today's going to be a lot of rework. I sort of wish that I would have got it right the first time, but it is what it is, and let's get to it. Okay, I actually just realized that I don't have to take the whole thing down just yet because I have access to everything that I need access to for this first part. And then early next week, I'm gonna actually work on the lowering process. Before I touch all the electrical components though, I'm gonna make sure that I don't get electrocuted. All right, so here's a quick summary of what I'm gonna be attempting. In order to move everything down, I need to move that guy vertically up. This guy's gonna shift over and down. I'm actually going to go back and turn my links distributor sideways. These two wires are going to run back up this way and over to the battery. And then that will enable these wires to be shorter as they go to the Orion and the charge controller. I'm also going to turn my grounding bus bar sideways so that will enable these wires to be even shorter. And then the smart shunt and T-cell fuse will get moved over here somewhere. I'm going to be using a bunch of these brackets to take away all of the dangling and turn them more at like 90-degree angles, and hopefully by the end of today everything's going to look nice and neat. This morning I'm headed back over to my friend Dana's house, who helped me put together my bed frame originally. I was actually pretty reluctant to reach out to him because we were both so proud of the work that we did in the first place. But after going back and forth in my head, I did decide that I need to lower this so that I can have the ability to sit up and have a more comfortable experience in my bed. We have about a 3-hour window to take care of this, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to take very long, and we're going to have a good time. Only a handful of people know this, but about 4 months ago, I was this close to buying a van that was already completely outfitted and ready to go. I wanted to hurry up and start traveling. I wanted to move out of my parents' house, and I wanted this adventure to start already. But at one point, while I was editing for this video, I was watching one of the time lapses of me working on my electrical board, and I couldn't help but think, wow, 3 months ago, I would have had no idea what I was doing. Not gonna lie, I welled up with a lot of pride, but I didn't cry. Anyway, I know that being the one to build out my van personally will be invaluable for me whenever I'm actually living on the road. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, and here's one final message from my friend Dana.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
You heard him.